Imagine if you had the most advanced artificial intelligence software or robot to grow your business. Do you have any idea what you'd be able to accomplish with that? Well, the answer is I think you would be very frustrated and probably drop out. Hey guys, Randy here. Welcome to another episode of the Duplication Nation MLM podcast. I want to talk about tech, Chat GPT, artificial intelligence, and all of those ebooks and coaching programs and online courses that gurus want to sell you to tell you how you could build your business faster with tech like that. This could be the most important training you take in the next 6 months. Could really save you from being victimized by pissing away some money on some stupid shit. And more importantly, doing things in a way that will allow you to be much, much, much more effective in terms of your duplication. So let's go back to this, idyllic, optimal, incredible software that I proposed. That suppose you could be the first person on earth, the first person in leverage sales network marketing to own this advanced robot or software application. Imagine it could make 100 billion calculations a second. It could scour social media, social broadcast networks, employment databases, and identify ideal candidates for you. It could give you an accurate probability percentage. Who will respond positively to your presentations, virtually eliminating any rejection. And then it could even scan your candidates as you're making presentations, track their eye movement, their heartbeat pulse, their breathing regularity, and they could signal when it's the perfect time for you to close it. Imagine that possibility. Now, let me tell you what I think would be the result. I think you would build the biggest network anybody ever has in the history of our business. I think you would have the biggest bonus check of anybody who's ever been in network marketing. And I think probably at some point within the first year or less, you would drop out because you were experiencing incredible frustration about your lack of duplication. And how nobody in your team could do anything remotely like you. And you would recognize, hey, I could make more money and have less grief if I took this amazing software and I used it to sell timeshare or real estate or copiers or whatever, coaching programs to network marketing distributors. That's what I honestly think the results would be. Why do I say that? Because remember, everything is about duplication. How many times have I shared with you the formula for duplication? We get a large group of people to practice a few simple behaviors over a sustained period of time. Our incredible software, AI intelligence, AI doesn't fit anywhere in that formula. In tech, we like to say things are dull edge, cutting edge, leading edge, bleeding edge. And you know where you want to be if you're in network marketing? You want to be dull edge. You want to have a knife so dull, a blade so dull, it can barely make its way through warm butter. Why do I say that? Because it's got to be about the duplication. So, and here's the thing, I know I'm swimming against the tide with this. People are saying, oh, Gage just doesn't understand technology. That's not true. Gage just doesn't know how to use technology. That's not true. Gage is just an old baby boomer. That's true. But he's not an old baby boomer who is anti-tech or doesn't understand how it can enhance our lives and our business. I love technology. I'm technologically adverse by default because I'm a boomer, right? I'm not a digital native. I didn't grow up with this shit. I didn't spend my 12, 13, 14-year-old years sending reels on, shorts on YouTube and reels on Instagram and clicking through Snapchat because none of those things even existed then. I was excited when the fax machine got invented, right? But I absolutely use technology when it can make my life easier. It's why I love email. Saves me 30 hours a week. It's why I love WhatsApp and Signal and Telegram. Those things, I was just talking to Ann, my partner. She sent me a note. Hey, can you call so-and-so and arrange a meeting for that album you were talking about doing? And I sent her back, no, there's no need for that. I sent him a voice note and it's done. I sent a 45-second voice note instead of getting three of us involved in a 45-minute Zoom meeting, right? So I love tech. I have a 8 sleep system that monitors my breathing rate and my heart variable rate and everything. And I can check it each morning when I wake up to see how my body is doing. I love tech when it can enhance. And there's amazing technology can help us, right? Like ChatGPT, right? Everybody's talked about that for 6 months to a year. It's been the sexy new thing. And you know what? I think it's a very cool application. And you know where I use it? Let's say I'm creating an agenda for a training event for my team or one of my clients. And I've got a 90-minute session at the convention that I'm going to be presenting on a certain skill set. So you know what I'll do? I'll go to ChatGPT and say, hey, ChatGPT, give me 10 great marketing titles for a book about, and then put in the subject. And then I'll come back with 10 kind of cool things sometimes. And I'll say, hey, that's great, ChatGPT, give me 10 more. And then I'll look, and I might take half of this one and half of that one, and I come up with an amazing clickbaity type of draw people in title for the program. Because that's what we have to do as leaders, right? We have to market to our team. The days when we just said, hey, come to the convention, we're going to be doing training on inviting and meeting people and closing and follow up. And people are so distracted. Their attention spans are so short. They're so overstimulated. You've got to cut through the white noise. So a ChatGPT could do that. But if you say, okay, I want ChatGPT to create the perfect script and the perfect, and you think it's going to do your recruiting for you, you're mistaken. Because if it does work, it won't duplicate. The HeyGen software, I think that's the name. I used it a few months back. I was doing some promos. I was doing a tour and I was going to Bosnia and Sweden and Norway and wherever else, Hungary. And so I did a kind of a promo video for the event. And then I had this software, it literally dubs you in this foreign language. The mouth movements are the same. The vocal cadence, intonation is the same. It's pretty incredible software, right? But I'm not going to use that to be the basis of my recruiting. It was a wonderful tool for me to, connect with my team in those countries where English isn't their first language. And it grabbed their attention because people in Hungary were not expecting a video of me speaking in Hungarian, right? Just wasn't. The people in Bosnia were like, I sent it to my GM over there. He's like, and I punked him. I said, I've been kind of bored the last couple of weeks, so I've been studying half an hour a night on how to speak Bosnian. So I did a little 2-minute video. Let me know what you think. And he wrote back, oh my God, that's amazing. What program are you using to study? That's so incredible. That's how good the technology is. And that was a couple of months ago. I guarantee you it's 30% better today than it was 3 months ago. So this stuff will keep getting better and better. It'll iterate more, and we'll find more uses for it. So don't get me wrong, I'm not a Luddite, I'm not anti-tech. I'm just anti-duplication. I'm anti-lack of duplication. I want you to do business in a way that will empower your team, cause them to duplicate better, and everyone will live happily ever after. Here's the most important thing that you could probably learn about technology in these 6 months. If I say this is the most important tech for somebody in Silicon Valley, they'd say, what is this boring shit Gage is talking about? But for somebody in leverage sales, this is the most important training in tech you're going to get in 6 months. And honestly, I mean that. You need to get every single person in your team to watch this on YouTube or listen on one of the podcast platforms. Here's the seminal change in algorithms. Because remember, all social media and a lot of stuff in tech, most of the marketing in tech is delivered by, is that the right word? Performed by, created by computer algorithms, right? So they know, X knows when they send me an email and says, new on X, and Boomer Esiason said this hot take about this quarterback. And I click through that on Monday. You know what's going to happen? On Tuesday, X is going to send me an email, and it's going to have a link to a Boomer Esiason quote. Because they say, oh, he must like football, or he likes Boomer, or he likes quarterbacks, or he's interested in, whatever. So they manipulate you, and they game you, and they troll you, and they clickbait you, and they stimulate you. And let me tell you, the greatest minds in our world today, they're not studying, most of them, they're not studying how do we travel through outer space? How do we harness the resources of the ocean? How do we protect our environment? No, they're getting paid $500,000 a year from a social media platform to track you and me and monitor then do focus groups where they do that shit I talked about. They track your eye movements on the screen. They check your breathing. They check your pulse. They know what triggers you, what frightens you, and what makes you angry. And if they know what frightens you and they know what makes you angry, they know exactly how to manipulate you to get to do whatever it is they need you to do, to stay on the site longer or to buy, whatever their product or service is. So these algorithms drive everything. And it doesn't matter how high your IQ is, you cannot outrun these algorithms. They're just too complex. They're too sophisticated. They're too omnipresent. The only way to beat them is to limit your exposure to them. So anyway, that's the basis of what drives it. But here's the seminal change that's happened in social media. I call it the TikTokification of social. Because what social has been driven by for 20 years is follower count. You need to get people to follow you. And the more followers you got, the more reach you got. TikTok blew that all up. TikTok doesn't operate on followers. TikTok operates on those algorithms of what triggers people. So you could open a TikTok account today, have 0 followers. You could create a video that got 5 million views in 24 hours or 48 hours. You really could. Because if it was the hot, sexy trigger subject of whatever was the hot issue that day, masks versus no masks, vaccines versus no vaccines, Biden versus Trump, blah, 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 blah. You hit the right vein. Followers don't matter. So first of all, save that $497 you were just about to spend on a course on how to get more followers on Instagram, or how to get more people to join your Facebook group, or any of those kind of things, because getting more followers is irrelevant. Now, you say, well, but then that's the argument for why I should use social media, because what if I do know that sexy hot topic? I could create a TikTok video today that gets me 5 million views in the next 48 hours. Great. What are you going to do next? How long will it take before you could create another short that gets 5 million views? And más importante, how many of the people on your team are going to be able to replicate that result? Here's the thing. Think about it when when Gangnam Style came out, right? This was such, and still is, I mean, I don't even know how many, he's probably up to 1 trillion views by now, because it was hundreds of billions. Gangnam Style by Psy. A video like that used to come out once a year. And then they used to come out once every 6 months. They used to come out once a month. Let me tell you, if you scroll through social media today, you will probably find, I don't know, 15, 20, 40 some days videos that went instantly viral and got 10 million views, 20 million views, 50 million views. In fact, you probably get 5 a day. If we looked at your WhatsApp groups and your DMs from some of the other things on what your friends are sending you, you probably get 3 or 4 of those a day that are just these funny memes that just draw you in. And as soon as you get it, you cut and paste and you share it with 25 of your friends in every group you're at, and everybody loves it and they all repost it. That's what you're competing against. Now, let me ask you this. Think of the time it would take you to do that. And then say, what if you spent an hour a day instead meeting people, contacting candidates, and follow up? I'm telling you, you will create such a fierce firestorm of growth in your team. It will be astounding to you. And most importantly, it can be duplicated by your people. I have people that I respect in their area of domain expertise. They're just really good at what they do. Warren Buffett is really, really good at investing. I don't know that I'd choose him for my role model in other areas, but in investing, I say he's really smart. Jeff Bezos is really, really good at growing a business. He's an incredible role model for that. You know what both of them share? They share a core philosophy of, hey, instead of me trying to figure out what is the next hot thing, what's always around the corner, the better question to ask might be, what will stay the same? Because it's really tough to predict what's going to happen 5 years from now in any area, but particularly like with tech or social media, that's impossible. It literally is impossible. You really can't, nobody knows what social media will look like 5 years from now. I can predict what the result will be. The result will be more kids with low self-esteem, lower IQs, more antisocial behavior, higher rates of depression, higher rates of social anxiety, and a lot of other really bad side effects that come from a lot of usage on social media. I can predict that, and I'll bet the rent on that. I can't predict where social media is going to go. The TikTokification, that's already apparent. It's already happening. It doesn't take a genius to see that. Where it's going to be 5 years from now, we don't know. But if we're going to look at our role models of Warren Buffett and Jeff Bezos and say, okay, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, what will remain the same? So how can I plan my marketing, my business, my activities based on things I know will be the same 5 years from now? You know what's going to be the same? Recommendations, personal recommendations from people you know and trust. Because I'll tell you what isn't going to be the same. Nobody's going to believe spokespersons. Nobody's going to believe commercials. Nobody's going to believe endorsements by celebrities, because the deep fakes are already so good, it's virtually impossible to tell apart. Last week when I'm recording this, last week was the big thing with all the, racy pics of Twitter's Taylor Swift on X, right? All deep fake stuff. The videos, they're incredible. You want to see a video of Joe Biden and Donald Trump joking around, hugging each other, telling each other how much they love them? It's available. It's deep fake. It's all over the internet right now, right? But a recommendation from somebody you know and trust, that will carry even more weight 5 years from now. You know what else be the same? People's desire to have concierge type attention, right? Of a distributor of a brain health product who calls you, who's your friend, and says, hey, I know your daughter's preparing for the SATs in a month. Do you know I've got this brain boost supplement with this and this and this ingredient? Hey, I know I know you do Pilates, or I know you're practicing yoga. Do you know we've got a product with joint and cartilage issue, ingredients that will help, blah, 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 blah. Hey, I know you're going through a stressful time. We've got a product. Personal attention, that not an email, it's just a call. It's stopping by now. Hey, I know you're heading on vacation. How's your supply of this or that? Hey, I know this is going on in your life. Can I help with this? That kind of thing. Here's the thing. You're never going to out Amazon. You're never going to out Walmart. But what Amazon and Walmart can't do is out you. What else won't change? There will be products that require conversational marketing to get acceptance. There's a lot of breakthrough products. If you just put them on a shelf in the supermarket or another retailer or a health food store, they will gather dust until they're expired, because they need conversational marketing. Think of direct selling network marketing, the products that we have brought to the population: GH3, flower pollen, glutathione, pine pollen, bamboo leaf. There's so many products that they were just never in the mass consciousness, but network marketing company brought them to market, and they had this army of distributors who conversationally market the products with their friends, neighbors, and relatives. You know what else won't change? What only gets stronger? People's desire to be a social entrepreneur, to do good for themselves by doing good for the planet, by working a business that feeds the greater need of society, to know that they become successful by helping other people reach success. And you know what isn't going to change in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 50 years, 100 years, 1,000 years? Employees who want to be their own boss. So again, you're going to get seduced with the dark side of the force and this course and this tech and this app. And, think about the things that will still be the same 5, 10, 15 years from now. Let me close with this, a shocking reality that most of you are not aware of. Think of an amazing social media influencer. There's somebody who regularly gets viral hits on TikTok. There's somebody who has 4 million followers on Instagram or Snapchat. They got it sussed, right? They look, they're the darling of society right now. I talked to, I just had dinner with a buddy of mine, and his 9-year-old son there. You know what he wants to do? He wants to be a YouTuber when he grows up. He's 8.5 years old, and he already has a YouTube channel going, and he's got one video with like 2,000 views. So he's killing it, right? Everybody wants to be a social media influencer. Here's the shocking reality. The most successful social media influencers are constantly grinding. They have no leverage, little residual income, and terrible financial security because the algorithms can kill them, murder them in a moment. And believe me, I know I have friends. I used to be in a tech mastermind group, and I had friends who went from $5 million income a month to less than 50,000 overnight when Google changed an algorithm back when they were doing, what was it called? AdSense or whatever the Google program was. Terrible residual, terrible security. Network marketers, you know what they can do? And that's the other thing about social media influencers, is they don't really get to unleash leverage. They're not able to harness leverage in a way that works and produces ongoing residual. A network marketer, they get to unleash leverage like the ultra rich. They have excellent residual income potential, and they have a much stronger security. Let me tell you a secret. If the average social media influencer knew the kind of leverage, security, residual income, and lifestyle a successful network marketer lives, they would shut down their accounts tomorrow. And I'm not saying network marketers who make $20 million or $10 million a year. If you took, let me go old school. You find me a master coordinator with Shaklee. You find me a double diamond with Amway. You find me a Hawaiian, whatever the diamond they are with Nu Skin. Any one of those people, if they're qualifying at that rank, they have a better income, more security, more leverage, more residual, and just a much higher quality of life than a social media influencer. And that's the message we've got to get out to the world. That's the message you got to get out to your team. All right, please like, subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, dive down in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Tell me I'm an old-fashioned baby boomer who doesn't know what I'm talking about. Whatever. I want to hear from you guys. All right, go out and have an amazing week. Love you guys. Peace. Hey, wait, don't go away yet. If you're on the YouTube channel, you figured out I'm in a different shirt. I'm jumping in for a quick edit. Something really important that I forgot when I was finishing up this outline for this episode is I want to make sure that it doesn't come across that I am anti-tech or anti-social media. To be honest and clear, I'm very concerned about social media. I think it's very destructive, particularly for younger people and people without a lot of discernment. But it's where the world lives right now. So in terms of recruiting, social media has got to be part of your package. So what I meant to add at the very end of this, and I forgot, was next week, Tuesday, we put these out Tuesdays, 7 a.m. Eastern time is when they go live. I'm actually doing an episode called Digital Duplication, how to recruit and build online. So I just wanted to make sure you didn't take this training we just went through as, oh my God, Randy says, forget the internet, forget online, forget social media. That's not my case at all. It's just, I want you to do it in ways that duplicate. And I'm looking back as we were doing the editing, I said, because somebody sent me a post from Facebook right before I went on, where a guru, and it's from a nice person who I like, and I would like to see them successful. And they were promoting a guru they follow who was about to go online selling an AI app. And I didn't know whether to laugh or scream or eat a banana. So there's just so much crap being peddled out there. And it's not just the money that you lose when you buy that stuff. The worst part of it is when you're doing the wrong stuff, it's preventing you from doing the right stuff. So just know, mark your calendar, 1 week from today, digital duplication. All right, I'll see you there. Peace.